Good evening and many thanks for joining us on QTV. You are watching QTV News and I am Ajibintu Drame. In tonight's top stories. There was unexpected drama when one candidate withdrew from the race as he was expected to file his nomination. However, the Independent Electoral Commission on Saturday received submissions from 3 presidential aspirants, marking the official commencement of the nomination exercise for the upcoming presidential elections. The Minister of Basic and Secondary Education has presided over the inauguration of the Crab Island Technical and Vocational Education Training Center in Banjul. The Gambia Media Fraternity on Friday elected Mohamed Esba as its new president, tasked with steering the affairs of the journalists for the next 3 years. In sports news, 13 Gambia female volleyball players and their coaches will be attending a 2-week training camp in the United Arab Emirates. Those were our main headlines. Now the news in detail. Now, the Independent Electoral Commission on Saturday received submissions from 3 presidential aspirants, marking the official commencement of nomination exercise for the upcoming presidential elections. However, there was unexpected drama when one candidate withdrew. He and the 3 who filed are independent candidates. More in this report by Ansumane Eso Nyasi and Aliu Sise.
4 aspirants, all of them independent candidates, were scheduled to submit their nomination papers on Saturday, the first day of filing nominations. However, only 3 still remain in contention to participate in the upcoming elections after Matthew Gomez, the last candidate to appear before the IEC chairman, decided to withdraw his candidacy, citing inability to meet some of the criteria for nomination. First to submit his nomination papers is Joseph Joof, former president of the Gambia Bar Association and one-time Justice Minister under Jammeh. Having submitted the required documentation, Joof, who was accompanied by 2 other people, had a brief media engagement, promising to end corruption and create jobs for young people. He also promised to revamp the education system. Next to submit her nomination papers was Mary Sok Jobate, the only female aspirant in this year's election. Sok is an accomplished businesswoman who is known for her philanthropic activities and women's empowerment programs. She promises to support women and girls and to create job opportunities for young people if elected. However, not all the required documents were on hand, and Mary Sok has been asked to complete her nomination process by submitting the required nomination forms, which she promised to do in the coming days.
Well, we go by list, and we still don't have, for example, my the asset declaration forms, and some of our nomination papers are still in the village, but hopefully we'll get that in a few days.
Accompanied by a sizable crowd, Alaji Mamadi Kurang also submitted his nomination papers. Kurang, an economist and founder of Jollof Tutors, says he is the right candidate to lead the Gambia to the promised land. Like Joof and Sok, he promises to reform the education system, create jobs and combat corruption.
I understand the economic problems of the country. The major problem of the country is poverty, and this country needs somebody who can solve poverty, a problem solver. I am a problem solver. I have not been corrupted with any government. I have not been involved. I'm a neutral person. People can trust me that I'm going to deliver what the society needs.
Meanwhile, Ibrahima Tabora Mane, Mamadou Ba Wan, Bankol Ahazi, and ANRD are scheduled to submit their nomination papers on Sunday. Reporting for QTV News, I am Aliu Sise.
The Minister of Basic and Secondary Education has presided over the inauguration of the Crab Island Technical and Vocational Education Training Center in Banjul, which aims to empower youths in skills acquisition and employment. Babukasi has the rest of that story.
Until recently, these classroom blocks were part of the Crab Island Upper Basic School, one of Gambia's oldest schools that has served the country for more than 6 decades, since it opened in 1958. The newly renovated school will now provide technical vocational education training, TVET, for youths, especially out-of-school youths. Following the recruitment of the administrative and teaching staff and the enrollment of the students, Crab Island TVET Center is now operational. The project is supported by the Gambia government, MRC Holland Foundation, the Turkish Cooperation and Coordination Agency TICA, EU-supported ITC, YEP, the Rotary Clubs of Fajara in Gambia and Royden Revolved in the UK. The person behind this initiative is Honorable Usman Silla, the National Assembly member for Banjul North. Mr. Silla is a former student of the school and is now chairperson of the Board of Trustees for the center. He tells us how he came up with the idea to revive the school.
I said, let me go and approach the ministry, because I knew that the premises is owned by the government of the Gambia and by the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education. I approached the then permanent secretary, Mohamed Jallo. He too need to be saluted for having been the first person to open up. From there, he took me to the minister, and the minister welcomed the initiative. It was there, then everything started. I approached them and inquired whether the school has been abandoned. They told me that no, it's not abandoned. In fact, we have a project for this. We have secured loan from the IDB to transform Krabala into a technical high school, because at the time, it is only Lamin that is a technical high school in the Gambia.
The Minister of Basic and Secondary Education, Claudiana Cole, commended Honorable Silla for coming up with such a brilliant idea and thanked development partners for their support.
I definitely cannot continue this statement without applauding Mr. Silla for his vision and steadfastness, without which none of us would have been here for an inauguration ceremony of any sort. With support from my ministry, the Ministry of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology, MRC Holland Foundation, the Turkish Cooperation and Coordination Agency, YEP, and many others who have made this day a reality.
Other speakers at the event include the MRC Holland Foundation coordinator, Henrietta Sonko, a representative from the Youth Empowerment Project, YEP, a representative of the Turkish ambassador to the Gambia, and the Ministry of Higher Education, who all played a key role in providing the much-needed support for the construction of the school, providing equipment and training teachers. The school will teach students various skills, including hairdressing, plumbing, electrical engineering, solar installation, construction, tailoring, and satellite installation. Babukar Si, QTV News.
Moving on, the Gambia Media Fraternity on Friday elected Mohamed Esba as its new president, tasked with steering the affairs of the journalists for the next 3 years, but succeeds Sheriff Bojang Jr., who served one term. Babukar Si again.
In a 2-day convergence at a local hotel, members of the media fraternity discussed and reviewed the work of the outgoing executive and adjusted certain rules and regulations governing the union and its members. The presidency was being contested by 3 candidates, namely Omar Wali, Mohamed MS Bah, and Mustafa Sise. The GPU members eligible to vote on the list numbered to 82 voters. However, 9 members were absent, meaning a total of 73 votes were cast. After the counting of the votes, Mohamed MS Bah was declared the winner and elected as the new president of the Gambia Press Union with 36 votes. Freelance journalist Omar Wali received 28 votes, while Mustafa Sise received 9 votes. Omar Wali conceded defeat by congratulating his opponent and called on Gambians to take the GPU elections as an example for the forthcoming December 4th presidential elections.
Well, I think the election was it was free, it was fair, it was transparent, and this is a sample because the Gambia Press Union is a big institution in this country. And December 4th, Gambians will go to election to elect a president. I think our politicians will borrow a leaf from this. Whoever win, and we know that how our electoral systems are. Whoever win the election should accept the results and we move ahead, because at the end of the day, the country is bigger than any one of us.
One of the board members who was elected unopposed was QTV's own Aliou Cissé, who described the position as challenging, but says he is happy to serve the union.
This comes with a lot of challenges because we're taking from an executive that has done so much in the past 3 years, and then we're coming now to make sure we are able to build on their legacies. It's not going to be easy, like you said. I mean, steering the affairs of the entire media fraternity in this country. But then the work can only be done easy if members are willing and ready to work with us, and then to ensure that we are just serving them, but then also they will be able to hold us to account by supporting us and telling us where we need to improve.
The newly elected Vice President, Aissatou Keita, has already laid out the new executive's plan and says journalists need to take the union.
The problems of journalists in this country are quite obvious, and we've seen most of them. But the first thing is to address the issue of membership. We have quite a lot of journalists in the country, but unfortunately when you happen to go through the list of qualified voters for this election or Congress, you've seen a number of 82. You ask this question, what is happening? Where are all the journalists? So first we will have to relook into this, and this will be done through our first familiarization tour with media chiefs and media institutions in the country. We will be able to gather have a database of all the journalists in the country. So in so doing, it will be easy for people to be able to get people registered under the GPU and ensure that they pay their membership dues.
All other positions were elected unopposed, including the new Vice President Aissatou Keita of GRTS, who takes over from Mohamed Emesba. The remaining positions are Treasurer, occupied by freelance journalist Saleh Jang, and 5 ordinary members in Paul Stephen of Star FM, Yusufa Bojang from the Network of Community Radios, Aliou Cisse of QTV, Mamadou Jawo of The Point newspaper, and Maimouna Balde of Bansang Community Radio. Babukar Sy, QTV News.
Well, congratulations to the newly elected member. From that story, we will go for a short commercial break. Still to come, we have more stories too. Stay tuned.
With such exceptional prices, impossible to miss the Butty Days. It's the unmissable appointment of Buttimat. From the 30th of October to the 13th of November, take advantage of exceptional discounts up to 50% off on several product family. The best quality, price ratio for the best of construction. It's at Buttimat, so don't wait anymore. Let's hit the road for the Butty Days. Buttimat, everything for construction, from foundation to finishing.
Check out the all-new Tigo 8 at S-Pass Motors. Call 3522-222 or 353-2222 for more information.
Cherry.
Welcome back. Now, 100 trainees have graduated at MJ Hairdressing, Express Beauty Salon and Skill Training Center on Saturday at a local hotel in Senegambia. Omar Pejalo attended the event and this is his report.
Established in May 2008, MJ Hairdressing, Express Beauty Salon and Skills Training Center specialize in training youths in hairdressing, beauty therapy and cosmetology. The center is fully accredited by the National Accreditation and Quality Assurance Authority (NAQA) and has successfully enrolled 2,200 students since its inception. Maria Majallo, the proprietress known as MJ, revealed that students usually train for 1 year 9 months before being sent on a 2-month attachment. While congratulating the graduates, Jallo also urged them to be good ambassadors of the school and thanked the parents and guardians for their trust and support.
The center has endeavored to provide you with knowledge, skills, and set of quality training that will prepare you for your future life. Therefore, graduates, I urge you to apply the skills to benefit your community and to create job opportunity for youngsters of our nation, the Gambia. We are pleased to inform you that the center will operate a new center in Guinea-Bissau to explore our service in the training of hairdressing, express beauty salon, and skills training center.
Bakari Y. Baji, the Minister for Youth and Sports, urged the graduates to be disciplined and apply the skills learned to create job opportunities for themselves and for other young people.
I did give you an assurance that us at the ministry level and by extension government, we are willing to collaborate with you in your needs and be assured that the President of the Republic, His Excellency Adama Barrow, is very much aware of the situations of young people and have hard policies in place to support programs and initiatives that are coming from us.
Representing the Governor and the Police Commissioner for West Coast Region, Mariama Sen, the Regional Youth Coordinator for West Coast Region, and KEDEC Assistant Superintendent Hassan Musa Jara both applauded MJ for complimenting government's efforts in creating jobs for the young people.
There is no development that can take place in any country around the world without the input of the young people. The young people, not in the white-collared neckties, but the young people in the skills and technology sector. That is what we are talking about today. And that is a manifestation of what we see here, that is TVET.
I equally caution the graduates never be used as an agent of insecurity or be involved in any form of criminality.
Other speakers included the Deputy Chief of Defense Staff, Mohamed Ocham, and the Gambia's Deputy Ambassador to Guinea-Bissau, Lamin Camara. The graduates were also trained in life skills, salon tools, personal hygiene, customer care, hair treatment, hairstyles, hair plating, hair tie, pedicure and manicure, facial treatment and makeup, and English language and mathematics. Reporting for QTV News, I am Omar P. Jallo.
The president of the Gambia Transport Union has revealed that over 15% of drivers have lost their jobs because of COVID-19. Omar Sise made these remarks as drivers in the Kanifing municipality and the West Coast region complained about the impact of the coronavirus on their business. Lori M. Kamara reports.
During the government-imposed lockdown in March last year, commercial drivers were also asked to reduce the number of passengers they carry to help reduce the spread of COVID-19. According to them, these and other factors have greatly affected their operations, causing loss of income and jobs. Seh Jau, a commercial driver, highlighted some of the challenges he encountered throughout that period.
Things were not easy for us, the drivers, because since the disease was announced in the country last year, we were asked to reduce passengers from 18 to 12. We have families to feed, and we cannot sit and do nothing. The government should investigate our affairs and help us.
Abdullah Jaju, another driver, said at least this year business has improved.
This year, our business is a little better compared to last year, when we were asked to carry less passengers. In fact, throughout last year, I did not work because people were scared to travel or even get close to someone.
Social distancing, wearing a face mask, and regular hand washing are part of preventive measures. Lamin Fati, also a driver, has this to say.
Our main problem is with the fares, because passengers do not want to pay $10. And if we insist on not giving back change, it always leads to a fight or insult from them.
The president of the Gambia Transport Union, Omar Cisse, said it is a difficult moment for the drivers as many of them have lost their jobs.
15 to 20% drivers losing their jobs. Commercial transport sector feel a lot of challenges because we have a lot of proclamation by the president, some restrictions, especially transport restrictions. So automatically that affects us. We have breakdown of the working, public office by 50%. That also automatically, affect us. So, and most importantly, our passenger have been reduced for 50%. Since last year up to date, we can say we are working and manage, but which we have been affected because our passenger have dropped to 50% for a period of time.
Mr. Cisse outlined initiatives by the union for the welfare of its members and the public.
We are putting, plans with the government through the Ministry of Transport as far as they are entitled to the transport matters within the country. We are discussing, we are changing opinion, ideas, and the way forward. That's why later on we discuss after government release open the borders with the Senegal. Any challenges, we engage them and discuss with them.
The pandemic has brought so many challenges for our society, and these drivers say they have still not recovered from its negative impact. For QTV News, Lolly M. Kamara.
Mariam, a 7-year-old girl, needs support for urgent overseas treatment. She is born with a rare imperforate anus, meaning a blocked or missing anus. Her mother appeals to the public for support. Momodu Kajaga reports.
Mariama Boy is sitting on her mother's lap. She was born without an anus, a rare condition in certain children. She currently passes excrement through a pipe fixed on the left side of her stomach. After she was diagnosed, she was operated on last year. Mariama's mother, Fatu Boy, appeals for help, and here she describes her daughter's condition.
She has sleepless nights. It really affects her a lot, especially at night. The doctors told me I should visit the Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital every 6 months so that the pipe could be changed. However, when I went there for the last time, I was told the specialist who did the operation is no longer there. So now I'm appealing for support to get overseas treatment for my daughter, whether in Senegal, Europe, or anywhere else she could be treated.
Symptoms of imperforate anus: a missing anal opening or incorrectly placed anus at birth, stomach swelling, not having bowel movements. This condition causes constipation in many children. This can happen even in children who had surgery. Laxatives and dietary changes can help. Bowel management programs can be helpful. These programs use settled enemas to help children have regular, controlled bowel movements. For Fatu and her daughter, the hope is that help will come through soon for her to get the treatment that will help change her condition for the better. Momodu Gajaga, QTV News.
Now in sports news. 13 Gambia female volleyball players and their coaches will be attending a 2-week training camp in the United Arab Emirates. Gambia Sports Ambassador Tijan Jaite facilitated the camp in collaboration with the Ministry of Youth and Sports. Our sports reporter, Momodu Gajaga, attended the press briefing at Q City and he now reports.
The training camp is aimed at exposing the players at a higher level. The team will play a series of friendlies against local clubs in the United Arab Emirates during the period. Gambia's Sports Ambassador Tijan Jaite says, as a sports goodwill ambassador, he will do his best to take Gambian sports to a higher level. I just wanted to say that if you have self-belief, you can do a lot. In whatever you do as humans, we want to see positive results. The reason I want to do this development is that being an ambassador is not only about me. I am very happy when this volleyball opportunity came. Gambian volleyball teams have registered numerous successes in the male category, especially in the beach volleyball, while the female counterparts continue to struggle to get to the higher level. Baidudu Jallo, president of the Gambia Volleyball Federation, says This international training camp will expose the players to how the game is played at the highest competitive level. He also urged the players to take the training seriously.
You have an amazing opportunity. I would advise you to start with this training camp, take it seriously, go to Dubai, but focus on your training.
To inspire the volleyball players, Ahmed Tijan Janko, an Olympic bronze medalist and ranked #1 in the world in the beach volleyball for Qatar, told the players to believe in themselves.
Opportunity bowling amni is a big opportunity. Bullen ko heb. Gambia female volleyball team joge Gambia dem be Dubai. That's a huge step. Before amon nañ chance dem nañ be Qatar, but this is like another big opportunity. So try and take go very seriously. You know, mungen ko make bullen heb sen boba. Man mangini, I am #1 in the whole world today, so which is something big.
Representative of the Minister of Youth and Sports was Ibrahim Aseka, a program manager for sports at the National Sports Council. He assured the players of government support and urged them to take the training camp seriously.
The government of the Gambia is now working tirelessly for the University of the Gambia to have a unit that's trained sports. If you want to be up to master's level now.
Fatoumata S. Jame, on behalf of the players, says they are pleased with the opportunity while thanking Tijan Jaite and his partners for their efforts.
It has been a very tough journey, but then with the support of the Gambia Volleyball Federation, that is why we are here. And to our able ambassador, Mr. Tijan Jaite. We were not expecting this, to be quite honest. We've been hearing like, yeah, we'll be having a trip to this country, to that. But for me, I was thinking it was just a story. It was just going to be a fairy tale. But alhamdulillah, I am wearing a Gambia jersey representing my country.
The event was also attended by parents of the players. The team with their technical staff will be joined in the United Arab Emirates by Italian coach Roberto Frenelli. Mamudu Gajaga, QTV News.
Before we end, here's a recap of our main headlines. There was unexpected drama when one candidate withdrew from the race as he was expected to file his nomination. However, the Independent Electoral Commission on Saturday received submissions from 3 presidential aspirants, marking the official commencement of the nomination exercise for the upcoming presidential elections. The Minister of Basic and Secondary Education has presided over the inauguration of the Crab Island Technical and Vocational Education Training Center in Banjul. The Gambia Media Fraternity on Friday elected Mohamed Esba as its new president, tasked with steering the affairs of journalists for the next 3 years. In sports news, 13 Gambia female volleyball players and their coaches will be attending a 2-week training camp in the United Arab Emirates. Well, that's it from me. Thank you for watching and have a nice evening.